What bothers me, and I could literally probably count the seconds before an incident like this becomes politicized. And that part of it I never like, because that's not going to bring back lives. And then I always ask the question, when something like this happens, what is your plan? What do you do? I have a personal security plan. I train in mixed martial arts. I've been a big believer in the Second Amendment for a long time, with the prayer that I never would ever to use it.
I am truly and utterly dumbfounded. I listened to this clip now 5 times probably, and every time it still catches me off guard. The sheer stupidity of Sean Hannity. So before we get into anything else, Ben, this man thinks that he'll be able to use martial arts to defend himself from an assault style weapon if crap hits the fan. The hubris of this guy is just off the charts. And it's so many conservative media figures and politicians have this weird fantasy of defending themselves either with a gun or from a gun, both. And they believe themselves to be an expert. I'm sorry, Sean Hannity, if someone's coming at you with a gun, you're gonna get shot and die. You're either gonna get severely injured or die. You're not gonna do some like jujitsu flip kick the gun out of the guy's hand. It's an absurd notion. Get your head out of your ass.
I have to strongly disagree. He's not gonna flip and get the guns. He's gonna karate chop the bullets. We all know that. He's gonna karate chop all the bullets like a good Sean Hannity would. I mean, listen, if he cares about America so much and doesn't want to pass regulations to stop gun violence because that would politicize it, I guess we have no choice left but to send Sean Hannity into active shooter situations and just let him ninja his way out of there. Let him ninja the group to safety. Let him do what he's got to do to just protect all of us with his superior martial arts skills. The man is idiotic. It harkens back to when Ben Carson, when he was running for president, in his the sleepiest man to ever live, whose eyes were closed 2/3 of the time he would speak, literally said, if I was in a mass shooting, what I would do is run towards the shooter and incapacitate him. Literally, before he said, if I was, he'd be dead. He'd have 30 bullets inside of him. But he believes all of a sudden he would be super speed. Maybe if he was, I don't know, on some sort of drug, maybe an amphetamine that would speed up his system, he'd still be dead. These people live in fantasy land. And unfortunately, that's not where shooting happens. Shootings happen in reality land.
And I was going to pause there for a second just to talk about the absurd nature of his comments. And we're going to get into some more absolutely absurd comments from one Newt Gingrich in a minute. But first, let's just go over a little bit about the already extremely lax gun laws that apparently Sean Hannity thought were too oppressive in the state of Maine. From AP and NBC. Maine, where more than a dozen people were killed Wednesday night in a mass shooting, does not require background checks on all gun sales and does not have red flag laws, according to Everytown for gun safety. Now, Maine does not ban high capacity magazines, nor does it require a permit to carry concealed guns, something that conservatives have been fighting to prevent in many states, my state of Illinois included. This Maine already didn't have that. So here's this from NBC News. Proposals to require background checks for private gun sales and create a 72-hour waiting period for gun purchases failed earlier this year. Proposals that focused on school security and banning bump stocks failed in 2019. Continues on. Residents have also voted down some attempts to tighten gun laws in Maine. A proposal to require background checks for gun sales failed in a 2016 public vote, but obviously that's not enough for some Republicans, like former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich, who says despite this, citizens need to take on more responsibility for protecting themselves. Take a look.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's horrible. Yep. And I think that we're gonna have to really think through a better method of protecting people. Frankly, in states that have concealed carry and other permits, constitutional carry permits, you have a much more rapid response to these kind of people who are crazy. And we have no idea what this person's motivation was, but I think we have to assume as we move forward that people, and by the way, this also applies to what happened in Israel when Hamas attacked. We have to have a greater ability for our citizens to protect themselves, because it's clear the law enforcement comes in after the massacre. But law enforcement is almost never there to stop the massacre. This has been true in Europe, it's been true here, it's been true in Israel. So I think we have to think about a whole new strategy, because these kind of people are extraordinarily dangerous, are willing to kill others, have no sense of decency, and frankly, you have to stop them as early as possible to minimize the loss of individual lives.
Incidentally, Newt Gingrich doesn't support red flag laws, which are proven to prevent the people who would carry out these types of shootings, these types of atrocities from getting guns in the first place. No, instead what he's proposing is Minority Report style policing. We need cops who are going to look into the future and determine whether or not you're going to commit a crime and neutralize you then. He said that the police weren't there to stop these mass shootings. No, why would they be? Why would they be? And how would they know? Are they just going to point a gun at every single person who enters a building and determine whether or not, do a visual check to determine whether or not they're a threat? That's absurd. It's an absurd notion, and it's not feasible. It's physically impossible. And what he's suggesting is honestly downright illegal. It violates our Constitution. So shut the hell up, Newt Gingrich. I thought we were done with you. I never would see you again.
I was astounded to hear Newt Gingrich say that, because I could have sworn he was dead. I did not know this dog was still alive. That's wild. And he's there on camera 80 years after he was in power saying, we got to think of a whole new strategy. Yeah, you know what would have been a good time to do that was 80, 90 years ago when you were one of the leaders of our government. I love that only now are you kind of kicking the brainstorm around. Now that I've been out of power for hundreds of years, maybe we should try to figure out a way to stop gun violence. He says it could have happened in Israel, it could have helped in Israel too. Yes, terrorist attacks would also be stopped by people with guns, just regular people stopping trained militias that are coming there to cause mass harm. It's a brilliant point made by the ghoulish, long deceased Newt Gingrich. May the Lord rest his soul.
And Donald Trump did the same thing, right? He did the same thing as Newt Gingrich. We need to try something new. He said this, a terrible situation going on in Maine, at least 22 dead. Again, those are not the numbers that we are officially reporting. It just seems to never end for the United States. You are the president. You are the president of the United States of America. And what did you do to limit mass atrocities, to limit gun violence, to try to prevent gun violence? Absolutely nothing. You were president during a time where there was a ton of school shootings, a ton of mass shootings, violent, bigoted mass shootings, and you did nothing to make it better. Another person.
Ray, at least he's taking it very seriously. I'm sure he just posted that and then took the rest of the day to be somber, right?
Well, you would think, because Donald Trump is a very serious man who cares very deeply about these types of tragedies. But 3 minutes after he made that post, he posted again about the tragedy. No, just to praise Mike Johnson, who was elected speaker earlier in the day. And
okay, but that at least was like political, and then he probably was somber the rest of the day, right?
Right, you would think, but 12 minutes later, he posted a video of him entering an arena to watch a UFC fight with the words, "What a difference a president makes."
Oh, wow. I mean, at least he was around the people. He was there to, I'm sure after that, he probably just, didn't post anything else, and he probably took time to reflect on gun violence.
Right, well, he might have been reflecting at the time that he posted a video of him teeing off, juxtaposed with footage of President Biden falling on the stairs.
Oh, so he's focusing on the issues, on what matters.
The important issues that matter. Another person who no one could ever accuse of not focusing on the issues was one Lauren Boebert, who tweeted out, sending prayers to Lewiston, excuse me. She spelled the name of the town wrong, by the way. She wrote Lewistown, it's Lewiston, Maine tonight. Know that the entire country is praying for you. I mean, this is a woman who posted a Christmas photo of her with all of her sons holding guns. some of them with very poor trigger discipline, all of them holding like assault style weapons next to the Christmas tree. Is that someone who gives a crap about gun violence? She ran a bar where all of the workers had to carry pistols on their hip. The idea that this woman, I mean, she's from a town called Rifle, Colorado. I'm sorry, could she be any more pro-gun? It's absurd, it's ridiculous.
Her bar was called Shooters.
Yes.
It's now closed, but when it was open, was it called Active Shooters? It wouldn't be too on the nose for her. She also probably offered a hand job to anybody who's a hand to anybody who's suffering. She really takes it very, very seriously, trying to help people in this nation. She's always about thoughts and prayers, always about thoughts and prayers. Most of these Republican lawmakers are. If they're so into prayers, why didn't they become preachers? Why did they go into making laws? If their focus is praying, go pray, have a congregation somewhere and have no effect on the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to do. You've taken up a position where you actually can affect change. And instead of doing that, you're sending vibes. We're sending vibes, that's what we're doing.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. We really appreciate it, guys. And we appreciate it if you become members, because that allows us to be independent, honest, progressive, all the things that you don't get from corporate media. And all of that is because of you guys. Hit the join button below and become one of us, become a Young Turk.